Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kelton. Welcome back to the channel. I want to do a follow-up video from the last one where I mentioned, asking the right questions the wrong ways, because that conversation has kind of replayed in my head and a thought has surfaced for it that I want to share with you guys. And it's simply this, that an unexpressed intention becomes somebody else's assumptions. So if you fail to clearly express what your intentions are, that's going to leave it up to the other person's assumptions about what your intentions are. And that person's assumptions are going to be derived from their past history, what kind of mood they're in that morning, what their previous experiences with other leaders and managers, what their experiences in relationships, and how they perceive just relationships in general. So their communication is going to be very much derived from what their past experiences, and that's going to lead to the assumptions if you do not clearly define what your intentions are. So just remember, an unexpressed intention becomes somebody else's assumption. I just thought that was just such a great way to kind of piece that together and express kind of what some of that breakdown in communication was. And then the other thing too that I wanted to point out was just when I was experiencing the negative feedback and the frustrations that my sales manager was having, people are going to be quick to assume that maybe he's a bad employee, and that's far from the case. Because the thing is like, what I realize is in your business you really have three key components, okay? And that's going to be your employees, it's going to be your systems, and it's going to be your leadership. I hire good employees, so I can go ahead and rule that out. So that leaves me with systems and leadership. Now, leadership, God forbid it's leadership, because it means I'm doing something wrong, but it's actually okay if it is leadership, because if I'm the one doing something wrong, then I have all the power to fix it. So if it is leadership, then it comes back to me to be able to be in a place of analyzing what's wrong and finding a solution for it. So if it's leadership, I can fix. And if it's systems, I can fix that too. So being very assured that I look at all three sides of it and say, okay, it's not the employee. So there's a breakdown somewhere else. So it's either leadership or it's systems, and how do I fix that? Well, what it came down to was a lack of systems. So it was that lack of documentation for the data mining that I was trying to do. So it made me come off as, micromanaging and failing to communicate in an effective way. So there were two areas that I really had to work on to make sure that the business relationship and everything can continue to grow and thrive the way that I need it to. So I went back and I started working on systems. So now I actually have a policy written out for the information that I need, what the daily tasks are that need to happen to make sure that I can get that data that I need. And then I even created the worksheets and the spreadsheets that are going to capture that data. And now it's all laid out. So I was lacking the system, which was causing a bigger issue. So the lack of systems, somebody just commented on it, and I appreciate the comment. They said, bad processes will beat out good people. Or beat up good people, or beat down good people, however you want to phrase it. But basically means that if you've got a good employee that's working for you, but you have bad processes, they're not going to continue to be good employees, and eventually they may leave and go find something else. So if you're not mindful of how you're taking care of your employees, and if you're not clearly defining what the expectations are through proper systems, then it could lead to a failure in communication and a failure in effective leadership, because it's hard to lead somebody if they don't know where they're going. So put the systems in place that improves your leadership, and then the employees can continue to perform and operate like the good employees that they are that you hired. So anyways, just thought I'd share that with you guys.